Hello guys, and welcome to Gina's Natural Way. So we're going to be talking about, we're going to do a series on health and healing and living life the way God intended for us to live. So every week I'll come to you and we will talk about a different topic. It might be about healing from diabetes or healing from whatever disease. We might talk about certain ones, or we might talk about just certain different things. If you have people that need healing or anything like that, definitely refer them to this channel. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm just a person that do a lot of research, I do a lot of reading, I do have a lot of wisdom, I've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm just things that I know work. So the first thing we're going to talk about, which we'll start that next week, but the first thing we're going to talk about is a healthy immune system. Because when you talk about a healthy immune system, you have to understand that sickness don't really dwell in a body that have a very high immune system. If your immune system is high, like over what, especially if it's like 8.0 or higher, sickness just don't dwell in that body. When it's lower than like 7.0, it becomes acidic, and acidic is not good. You want your body to be alkalinized. So that is what we're looking to do. So we're going to talk about how do we do that. I believe that God gave us all the tools to keep our bodies healthy. He gave us nutrition. We're going to do it through nutrition and eating, through vitamins and minerals, through oils, essential oils, prayer. There's all different ways that God heals us. So we're going to do some natural remedies, and I'm going to give you guys natural remedies of what to eat, what to drink, like if you're dealing with a certain item, or just what you should do in order to get like your immune system up. And that really works. There's also some pH strips. It's called pH strips that I got from the health store. And what it is you can spit on it, I think, or pee on it, and it'll tell you your pH balance. So it'll say, you have, after you look at it, you compare that against the color on this little color wheel. There's all different ones, and it'll show you exactly what your pH balance is, and you should do that from time to time. There's also a lot of water that can get your pH balance up, but I can remember when my mother had breast cancer years ago. And I remember I used to always do the strips because, I've been doing them for years. And so I will always do the strips just to make sure where I'm at, make sure I'm, nice and healthy. And so my mother did it, and hers was a 4.0, which is so low. Like, that is just way low. That is unhealthy low. And I told her, I said, she did it. And I said, oh, Mom, I said, you better get to the doctor. Something, that's just way too low. Now, when it goes that low, you can risk getting cancer, getting just different real, bigger diseases and stuff like that. Not just the cold or just the flu or something like that, but something huge. And then she went to the doctor, and her immune system was so low, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, unfortunately. But she's fine now. So those strips, they might not be 100% accurate, but they're accurate. You could tell when you're going to get a cold or something like that. Also, we're going to learn where disease come from. It comes from stress. Sometimes it comes from your gut, like if you have a huge stomach and you don't clean your stomach out, you don't clean it out, because every disease starts in the gut. So if you have if you're all backed up inside, then that could show on the outside through different diseases and stuff like that. And it definitely don't matter if you're thin or if you're overweight, because I'm overweight myself. But I will tell you, there was a time I had gotten sick years ago. And so when I had gotten sick, what happened was my uncle was dying, and he had cancer. He had lung cancer, and so it was really hard for him to breathe. So I can remember going up to the hospital all the time with my mom and just seeing him go through that, and I just was not hungry and didn't have an appetite. And the next thing you know, it got to the point where I just couldn't even swallow. Like, I just could not swallow. I don't know if it was the stress of it all, but it started just like that. Like, it would be like a lump in my throat, couldn't swallow. I don't know. So I wound up having to go to the doctor, and they did all type of tests. They put the scope down my throat. They could not find anything wrong with me. I went through that for months and months and months where I couldn't eat. I had gotten so thin. if you looked at me from the outside, because I was really big before, a lot of people was like, oh, you look so good, you're so healthy, when I was dying. I mean, you can't eat, you're gonna die. I was dying. My husband was like, I'm gonna admit you, like, they thought that it was because the doctor, nobody gave me a diagnosis. They thought that I was just making it up, and I'm like, no, I physically cannot swallow. Like, I just could not swallow nothing more than a little bit of water. And so I was living off of like water. And yeah, I did that for months, you guys, and I had to nurse my way back up to health. I actually started doing, my mother was staying here, and so she would try to blend me up some food, like try to make it real thin. I couldn't eat that. I just couldn't. And I was bedridden. Obviously, I didn't have any, I couldn't move. I was so malnourished. I like stayed in the bed. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And then one day my mother, she's like, you know what, let's just start trying to do juices. And I started doing juices, and she just kept bringing me like green juice and other type of juice. And I just started juicing, and my body started getting the nutrients, and just like whatever was wrong with my body, it just totally began to heal. And then one day I woke up and I just felt it. I said, I think I can eat again. And my family's like, what? I was like, yeah. Like, it felt like my body, I think my body was so bogged down. You guys, I was almost 300 pounds, by the way. And I think my body was just so bogged down with so much bad things and bad food going in it. I would eat any type of way that my body just shut down. It was like, look, you're not putting no more food in me. You're done. So, so I think that's kind of what happened. And so, yeah. And then after I started eating again, of course you gain the weight back if you're not watching. So I gained, weight back again. And then I had to actually lose it again. So I'm down I'm down some good pounds, but yeah, so don't let people tell you that if you're thin, then you're healthy, because there's some people that is a lot less healthy. Even my husband, everybody in his family, he has 6 sisters and 1 brother. All of them have diabetes. Some of them are super thin, all of them are thin. You would think that they are so healthy. No, they have diabetes, high blood pressure. They have every disease you could think of. But my husband, he have nothing. Because of the way I cook, because of the vitamins I give him, the nutrition, the things like that. So it don't matter how much you weigh, which it is, you should be a healthy weight. That do contribute to it. Don't let me just say that. But I'm saying not necessarily if you're thin, that don't mean that you're healthy. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So yeah, so we're going to talk about all that in the next few weeks or whatever. We're going to talk about just health and healing and living life the way God intended for us to do, growing our own food, our own fruits and vegetables, making our own, like I make my own yogurt, my own kefir, my own cottage cheese. I make my own tomato soup, my tomato sauce, jelly. I make everything, because a lot of the things that you put, like the preservatives, those are what's killing you. The preservatives, the things that they're putting on your fruit. I always buy organic fruits and vegetables. We're going to learn how to heal our body inside out, and it should show on your face. You should always be happy. Like, you should eat happy foods, happy fruits and vegetables, and hemp seeds and things that make you happy. You should be in a good mood the majority of the time. But if you're eating bad things and you're putting bad, heavy things in your body, like chips, like even I had chips for lunch. I had a ground chicken burger and some sweet potato chips, but I made them, and I made them in coconut oil. So it's just how you do that. I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. I'm going to show you guys, I don't drink cow's milk. I drink goat's milk, raw goat's milk, but we'll talk about that. Because of all the nutrition and the things that's in there. And so we'll talk about all that, you guys, and more. So I just wanted to come on and let you guys know this series is going to be starting next week. I'm so super excited about it, because I love talking about health. I believe that God intended for us to live like this. That's one of the main reasons my husband and I are moving to the South. We are going to get a lot of land, at least 15 acres. We plan on having our own goats, our own chickens. I'm going to have a huge garden. Of course, we'll have helpers that's going to help us with all that. But yeah, this is what God wants us to live. He wants us to live the way He intended, and just getting back to nature. getting back to nature, connecting with God through outdoors, and just the beauty of it all. He made all this stuff for us, you know, and all the beautiful trees and the outside, and we're always so cooped up in the house, especially here in Michigan. I live in Michigan, and it's cold. So the last 2 days it was like 70 degrees. It was beautiful, and now it's back a little cold again. But yeah, so in a couple of years we'll be moving. I'm excited about that. But yeah. So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna talk to you all later and see you in the next video. Bye, guys.